Hey everyone, my name is James McCool. I'm the owner of paydirtdfs.com, and today I'm going to be showing off a little bit of what you can do with the player pool simulation tool. I wanted to just show really quickly how easy it is to put together a CSV and set this tool up. And I'm going to do it using an MMA CSV to show that you don't actually need a projection set in order to use this tool either. It's really easy, it's really cool, and the application is really wide on it. But before we go any farther, if you have not already checked out paydirtdfs.com, you should. You should grab a subscription. We're moving into MLB season, which we always crush. We have the Super Bowl tomorrow. There's a lot of things to do. So if you haven't already checked out paydirtdfs.com, you absolutely should. But let's go ahead and move forward and show off this tool. So this tool that I have built up allows you to simulate a player pool or a set of players so you can see what their outcomes are against each other. There's applications on this for a lot of different things. If you have listened to the theory of DFS, this goes into understanding the range of outcomes of players and understanding that if a player has high upside at low ownership, they should be somebody who you're interested in. And if you have 3 or 4 players together, you can compare their range of outcomes and their ownership and find leverage using things like that. So today I'm just going to show you how you can set up the player pool simulation tool. And this is just using an MMA CSV from DraftKings. So if you had your favorite projection set, right, all that you would need to do is you need to have player, salary, floor, median, ceiling, and ownership, right? You just need these columns right here, these 6 columns. Floor and ceiling aren't actually required. They can be blank. If you don't have them, then they can just be blank. But you do need the player, the salary, the median, and the ownership for it to run. So let's go ahead and set that up using the MMA CSV here. So we can get rid of position and name. Those don't matter here. We can just delete those. We're going to move the salary over here next to name. We're going to take the average points per game, and this is what we're going to use for the median expectation for each fighter. And then we're just going to rename this ownership, and we're going to give this zeros all the way down because we don't actually have ownership projections for them in this example. Remember, we also need floor and ceiling columns here, but they don't need to be populated. So you can just put floor, ceiling, and have those there. So now we have all the columns that we need to populate this tool. The spelling and the capitalization and stuff like this doesn't matter up here for these columns, but it is necessary to have the columns oriented this way. So just to clarify, name, salary, floor, median, this is where your projection is going to be, ceiling, and then ownership projections that you have for the players. So let's go ahead and save that. That is 822,562. So then we're going to close it. Oh, yep, we want to save that. Yes, I want to save it. There you go. Oh, what are we doing here? It's okay. I already have a file that I'm using for this anyway. So when you open it up, you're going to see this name error. This name projected data is not defined. Don't worry about that. I'm a bad coder, so it's just there for now, but it's still in beta testing, so this will go away here pretty soon. All that we need to do is we need to go and browse for the files. We need to find the file that we're going to use. This is the one that I just put together. And so you can see that it'll bring up the data table here. Zoom in on it. And you can see that we have the player, the salary, floor, median, ceiling, ownership. These nones are going to be fine. It's going to create the floor and ceiling for you. So then you can go over into the simulations. You can say total pool. If you're simulating specific players, which we'll show here in a second, then you'll choose those players. And then choose the number of comparison simulations. We'll just go for 1,000. And then we can simulate out the player pool. And using just the MMA CSV, you can see that we have a full range of outcomes table here. We can see how often these players finish as the top overall finisher in the simulations. We can see how often they end up going 1x their salary, 2x their salary, 5x their salary. We can find good values by sorting by 8x or 9x. And that'll give us the players that look like they are the most underpriced based on their medians. So we can do all of that. And we're not even using an actual projection set. If you wanted to use your own favorite projection set, you can do the exact same thing, just orient the columns the same way, and it'll show you a full range of outcomes table that you can use to make really good, smart decisions. If you are not trying to do the entire pool and you just want to look, say, at this range, right, this Yair Rodriguez, Jimmy Crute, and Tyson Pedro, then we can go in here. We can say select players. It's going to reset. Then we can just go in and we can choose these guys. We can say, yeah, I just want to look at these three. Let's look at these four players against each other. We can simulate it at the pool, and then it's going to develop a range of outcomes, and it's going to actually show us the best leverage offered by each option that we have. So it's going to show how often they're the top finisher, how often they go into different salary ranges, and then it's also going to tell us who the best leverage is of this group. So I just wanted to show off that you can use this in a whole bunch of different ways. You can use it for any sport, for any contest type, and it's going to develop a range of outcomes table based on the medians that you enter into it. If you enter in the floor and the ceiling as well, then it's going to be a little bit more accurate based on the projection set that you use. But one way or another, it's going to be using the math that I use for the simulations over at Paydirt one way or another. So if you think that this is cool, you should go use it. Let me know how you do with it. Let me know what you do with it. Let me know if there are any bugs, any features that you would like, stuff like that. And if you have not already checked out PaydirtDFS.com, you should do that too. Lots of cool stuff, daily articles for the main sports, as well as projections and range of outcomes for nearly every sport except for basically NASCAR and soccer. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy the tools. See ya.